Hey guys, welcome back to the BMW Blog YouTube channel and welcome to Silicon Valley. I'm actually at the BMW Tech office here. They're celebrating 25 years since their opening here, and they have some interesting things to show us, especially behind the scenes. So in this video, you're gonna see some really cool things with AR and VR. You're gonna see some new innovations in terms of light display and even scent. And then of course, we're gonna show you some other interesting things related to cars as well. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere because we have a lot of things happening today and this video will be quite interesting.
My name's Etienne. I'm a designer and engineer here, which is a little bit wacky to be a designer and engineer. I'm on the Experience Design Lab team. And so I'm here to tell you a little bit about what we do here, how and why. So we've got some really cool stuff and I'm excited about it because we don't often, it's once every 25 years that we get to show you stuff we've never seen before. So what we're showing you is pretty early stage prototype stuff. And so let's have a look at the first projects. And again, this is early stage stuff. I said we're in advanced research and development. So here we have a can. It doesn't look very impressive, does it? There's a can of, sort of a can of bits, basically. But actually, it's pretty advanced technology. There's a computer in here. There's digital laser projection. There's camera sensing. There's motion control. And a few other things for good measure in here. But it's not what's in here that's important. It's not the technology that's important. It's what we're doing with it. And so with this project, we're exploring new experiences with light. We're seeing light as an opportunity for as a new medium for user interfaces. And so I'm building this impression of some lofty thing, but I'm going to show you a movie in a minute, and it'll all make sense. So let's have a look at this one. Hopefully you can all see this, right? So what you're seeing here with this movie is this prototype working in real time, in real life. It's filmed live. There's no special effects. It's not sort of some minority Hollywood thing going on. This is actually a working prototype. So we're using digital projection on the surfaces of the interior. We're projecting in and around objects. We can help surfaces come alive. And increases safety. Bringing function into the area. Oh, and this is particularly important, is we're recognizing the position of your hand. So we're tracking using object recognition and smartly providing these magical moments. So that video was actually produced for internal communication storytelling, but it's not just storytelling, it's actually based on real stuff that we're building. Let's have a look at a prototype because I've probably oversold it right now. So again, this may or may not work, the thrill of R&D. So let's have a look at this and let's see what happens. So here we have what is a three-dimensional display. So if you kind of pull in, and I'll sort of pass this around, is that we are seeing pixels on a three-dimensional surface. So let's call this a crystal or a jewel right now. So you have a flat display, and obviously this area doesn't need to surround this crystal, but we're doing it just really to explore the possibilities, and that's why we do prototyping. So we have a three-dimensional sort of space where we have pixels on this surface, and we have the surrounding surface, and we have this interplay from a digital experience point of view where stuff can belong on this flat world, but then it can also go in and out of this three-dimensional space. And so this opens up lots of opportunities for interaction and ease of use. like one of the key things here is that, yes, sure, we've got these flat displays and we can touch these, but do you truly feel it? And so this is about providing a touch surface that you can touch and feel. This is a prototype, it's early stage stuff. Fortunately can't touch it. We do have fully working touch sensing prototypes. We're keeping those under wraps because we're going to keep you guessing about what we're going to do with this. I'm not going to tell you where, when, or how, but this is all about inspiring us to think differently about technology and differently about what are the solutions that we could be giving our customers in the future. So you might ask, well, that's all very well, but what benefits? Like, what's the value in this? And so let's start with the pure one. We're in a vehicle. Safety is super important. So how can we reduce the amount of time that we spent looking at screens? How can we improve the speed of interaction? And so providing a physical affordance, it's the basics of, physical button that we used to have in the car. So 50 years ago, you know where that button is. It has a single function and it does what you need it to do. And this gives us that physical place that you can find without really looking at it. It stabilizes your finger, so you've got something physically to register your finger against. And then there's other benefits. So when we get from a physical touch point to a digital one, and we blur those boundaries between the digital and physical, we have this world of virtual and the augmented, which is what you saw with the last project, where we're sort of treading from a digital to a physical to sort of a virtual augmented experience. We have this sort of gray area between digital and physical that's super interesting. So digitally, we can alter the function of that 50-year-old button depending on the context of the vehicle. So depending on whether you're in the EV charging moment, whether you are in autonomous mode, whether you're watching a movie, whether, somebody's giving you a call. We have this point here, this touch point, that can change its functionality according to that context. So you have this go-to point for quick interactions. You have this sort of hub where you can control the things that are relevant at that time, and we can smartly deliver you, so we could call it recommendations, but we could smartly deliver you an interface that suits that moment in time. And then also we kind of obviously have this idea of differentiating for our brand. So we potentially can provide some really iconic touch points in the vehicle, whether it's a Rolls-Royce, BMW, whether it's a motorcycle even. So there's a lot of things that we can do with this, and that's exactly why we're prototyping this stuff. We're getting from ideas and a story to something that's very physically and tangibly demonstratable. And then we're taking this to Munich and we're doing back and forth, and we're showing this to other technology offices and say, what do you think coming from your world there in Asia or Europe or in Israel or in Korea versus China? And getting us, filling out this understanding of what technology might mean for us in the future.
Today we're going to take you on a journey through BMW Group's exploration of AR and VR and some projects that have never been seen publicly before. We're excited to share with you the origins of some of our latest in-car technology, and let's jump to the year 1998. In 1998, shortly after the office opened, we began working on our first project, the F1 helmet. It debuted at the Hungarian Grand Prix in 2002 with Ralf Schumacher. It featured a 6x8mm screen integrated into the helmet, which allowed for bidirectional communication from the pit to the driver. It allowed the driver to remain more attentive on track and not have to focus on other communication, and it showed different scenarios, which, let's say there's an oil spill or something like that that could have been on the track. But before the helmet could be widely adopted, the rules had changed, so it remained the only one of its kind. It was banned from Formula One, so it remained the only one of its kind. But we decided to continue with this technology and see in other areas where we could integrate this technology of having an integrated micro display into helmets. So we jumped to the year 2003, where we partnered with Team Oracle to create a pair of sunglasses that had a built-in heads-up display that was modular. These glasses, along with Tag Heuer, allowed us to show boats telemetry data and vital statistics to the boat while they're racing, so that they didn't have to be stationary where traditional gauges and meters would be placed on the boat. In 2015 at the Shanghai Auto Show, we showed off our mini augmented vision concept. This was a joint collaboration between BMW, Qualcomm, and a few other teams in Germany as well. We wanted to create a vision that allowed for customers to bring their devices into the car. Because in the same time frame, we had Google Glass that just came out, and if everyone remembers when that came out, it was a large uproar about, oh, look at this new technology, how can we integrate it into our daily lives, and so on. So we decided we wanted to work on a UI UX vision, as well as what the customer journey would look like for our customers. And this was a fully functioning prototype and demonstration that was shown at the auto show. And I think we have a quick video that you guys can take a look at. So, as you guys can see on those glasses themselves, the design was pretty far future and advanced of the way they looked back in 2015. Everything was integrated into the headset. Unfortunately, it made it a little bit heavy for a normal user to wear, so it remained a design concept. But the principles we learned from designing the UI UX will then transfer on to other areas in our product lines. So let me hand it off to Elin now.
Let's jump to another brand of BMW, Motorrad. In 2016, we introduced our head-up display helmet prototype at the CES in Las Vegas. Like with the F1 project, we started integrating a display into the helmet. You can hand it out if you wanted to have a look at it. We created a completely new UI that was tailored around the rider's field of view and interactions on a motorcycle to keep important information inside. This included speed and navigation, as well as a rear view camera that acted as a rear mirror and an action camera to record your ride. So here's a video to get a feeling of the experience. I'm sure we have some motorbike riders here, and we all know how important it is to stay focused on the road while riding. We believe in technologies that enhance safety while riding, and as you could see in the video, everything you need to see is always visible and intelligently brought into your field of view when necessary. As we continued to develop this product to become a customer product, we realized that at that time a helmet was not the optimal platform for us to realize and shape our vision. We needed a product that could be easily integrated into our existing connected ride ecosystem and at the same time would be a valuable addition to our riders' existing gear. It took some time until suitable technology was in reach. Therefore, let's fast forward to 2023, where we introduced our new BMW Motorrad Connected Ride smart glasses at the BMW Motorrad Days in Berlin. They were so well received by our customers that unfortunately they're already sold out. But we have some for you to look at here. We integrated the learnings we had from the helmet into the glasses, and we could reuse more than just the UI and the UX principles. And let's have a look at the experience. They're designed to fit almost everyone, supporting different face shapes and prescriptions. And they're fully integrated into our connected ride ecosystem, which means you could just connect them to your bike right now and start riding.
All right, so we just heard about our most recent release in this space, but I'm going to take you back a little to this area. 2015-16, where virtual reality got traction. We just had the Oculus Rift announced and released in 2016, and that's got us thinking. What if our customers want to wear virtual reality headsets in a car? What if someone wants to wear that Oculus Rift on the back seat? So we started a project to explore the opportunities of virtual reality, but also to learn about the challenges it comes with in a car. One challenge is motion sickness, because if you start wearing this headset and you can feel the motion of a moving car and it's not reflected in your virtual space, that causes discomfort and that can lead to motion sickness. To reconcile that effect, we tapped into the vehicle's motion sensor array and translated them into the virtual space. And we have a video here, how that looks like.
VR in cars enables revolutionary new experiences in the car. The magic behind this is a system that synchronizes the movement between the VR headset with the movement of the car. As you're driven around, you're transported through a virtual world that is aligned with the real world. You can control the virtual contents with the user interface. There you can adjust audio volume, see incoming notifications, or get a round overview. Clicking on the home button reveals the main menu straight ahead. Here, you can choose from a variety of entertainment experiences. The video is comparable in size to a typical rear seat entertainment display, but in VR we can transform it to a truly cinematic experience. By docking the viewer, you can lean back and have the display follow your head movement. You can also lock the viewer in place so that you may continue to explore your surroundings. In VR, the world can be redesigned in an instant. By using real-world data tied to the car's surroundings, BMW becomes a flexible platform for all manner of new experiences.
I think for this time was quite incredible what we achieved here. And this always gets me thinking, all the opportunities we have creating these virtual environments and driving through them. And not just me, because this project has never made it into the hands of our customers, but internally it created awareness that we can solve VR in a moving car. And that brings me to one of my favorite projects, the M Mixed Reality Experience, where we took this to the highest level, because it's you driving an actual car through the virtual world. And for all of you that are not yet aware of this, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are, short video. And as you can see, in between these projects, there was some time because we needed new technology to achieve this. First of all, we needed headsets that are able to render see-through content, which means you can see the actual interior of the car while driving through the virtual world, because you want to see that steering wheel. We needed a very sophisticated tracking solution that is able to map all the small movements of the user into the virtual space. And we also needed strong rendering power, so we used the Unreal Engine to create this environment. And bringing all of these things together with the built-in motion sensors that are already present in our cars, we were able to create this experience. And the best part is you will all get a chance to drive it later today and experience yourself. And talking about experiences, there's one more project I want to talk to you about. You will also get the chance to try out this one. It's the first time ever we show this outside, so you will be one of the first to see it. Back in 2020, Meta announced their Project Aria research device. And that's when we reached out and teamed up to together explore how to integrate their devices in our vehicle. I'm sure not everyone is aware of the Aria glasses. Ankur, can you hand them out?
Oh, yeah.
Essentially, this is a data capturing device in a very lightweight frame, which features all the sensors required to solve tracking in a moving car. And that's what makes this lightweight device a very interesting research device for us. Also, this time we're less focused on a specific experience, like the mixed reality experience. This time we're more focused on integrating the device itself in the car. And how we achieve that, Mark Zuckerberg will tell us.
People often ask me if they can use Quest while they're in a car. And until now, that hasn't been possible. The headset uses cameras and motion sensors to figure out its exact position. So when you move your head or look around, it feels convincing. But being in a moving vehicle interferes with those motion sensors. So we've partnered with BMW to create AR and VR experiences for passengers in next-generation vehicles. Working together, we created a way to accurately anchor virtual objects, even in fast-moving cars. Now we're taking it up a level with color pass-through and other improvements. It's going to make the time we spend traveling more productive and just more fun.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, you just heard it. This has the potential to make the time in the car more enjoyable. And that's why we look behind these experiences to already start creating interfaces between our cars and these devices. And as our customers come from different ecosystems, we work together with different companies to already create these interfaces and connect their devices. And this opens the door for potential industry standardization in this area. Because in the end, if our customers start wearing these devices day by day and they want to bring it into the car, we want to be ready for that. And with that,
so just a quick history. BMW added its first voice commands to its vehicles back in 1999. That's way back in the day. Who remembers the vehicle? Anybody? Big movie, Pierce Brosnan, right? 7 Series, E38, right? I believe it was E38. A lot of kids growing up who were 7 or 8 at that time wanted to join BMW because of those movies. I might have been one of them. In 2015, we added the first natural language understanding to our voice assistant, and in 2018, we released the intelligent personal assistant, sort of as it is today. Shortly thereafter, we added Amazon Alexa as an add-on to the intelligent personal assistant, and today we're really excited to announce the mini intelligent personal assistant. So we're building the mini intelligent personal assistant with Amazon. This partnership's been was effectively born out of this office. They're right down the way, so you can always go down the 101 to find the tech companies in Silicon Valley. That's given us the co-location and the ability to do this as a partnership. We're using the Alexa custom assistant stack to build it, and it's been pretty incredible to use their technology. So I'll get into sort of the why. So our customers will get access to all of their existing Alexa integrated devices, and this is a massive ecosystem. I had to effectively double check the numbers over and over to make sure that they're correct. Like, it's actually really shocking. So 500 million devices out there. And it's not just volume of sort of the same device either, it's form factor variety as well. So you have sort of the obvious stuff like garage door openers, which pair well with car technology, obviously. But you have things like oven timers and smart home automation turning porch lights on, which make a lot of sense for people coming home. So if you want to preheat the oven for your holiday cookies that you're baking this time of year, then you can do that through Alexa as well. There's also a huge, so this is my domain, there's a huge software development ecosystem there. So enthusiast ecosystem, really. There's 100,000 Alexa skills out there in the wild. So it's a massive party to be joining there. Then on the BMW side, you get all of the things that you would expect. So you get a huge focus on customer data protection. We have the ability also to extend Alexa with the Skills SDK. And for the first time, we can now customize the voice for all of the brands under the BMW Group umbrella as well. So our wake word will be Hey Mini. We have a beautiful set of animations and our new pal Spike on the round display there. I'm not sure if you guys saw Spike in Las Vegas on the Sphere. Yep. Yeah. He's been over there. So it's a fun and interactive adventure now with Hey Mini and the Mini Intelligent Personal Assistant. Additionally, the pathway that customers might be used to, if they've been using their Alexa, still exists. You can still use Alexa. It's a different animation. We have we maintain the Alexa branding around the ring of the round display, and the differentiation is clear for our customers, so that there's no issues there. So about the branded experience. So you get a male British accent for the Mini Intelligent Personal Assistant. That's the voice. But it's what we're really proud of is that we've been able to sort of imbue the essence of the Mini brand into the persona of the Mini Intelligent Personal Assistant. So it's a fun and engaging character and persona that you're interacting with, and you should be able to be a lot more fluent with this assistant technology. Another thing that's really, really impressive on Amazon's data side is the fact that they have highly, highly localized understanding. So sort of gone are the days where you have to speak like a newscaster to have things be understood, right? I grew up in Boston. People in Boston, according to people outside of Boston, talk a little funny. I used to drop the ends of words and R's at the end of word. Like, you know, it's not the most professional thing. I've mostly lost it when I'm in professional settings, but we had two guys in the last group, one from Marblehead and one from Cambridge. And, you know, once we start all talking, it all comes back and we're all sounding like we're, you know, from the Northeast again. I married a girl from the South and she says movie theater and we always laugh at this. And when you're developing a natural language processing algorithm to understand two versions of English, this is a very hard problem. That word just in general, that goes from, I say movie theater, that's 2 syllables. She says it with like 3, right? It's totally different sound, and it's very troublesome. So Amazon has highly, highly localized, like I couldn't believe some of the sub data sets that they have for the same language. So it's really quite impressive. So we're excited on the recognition front for people from all over who are maybe not fit for the news, which is great. And we can basically use the Skills SDK as well to handle different traits for our specific brands and different features for our vehicle. So rollout, this is available now in the UK. It'll be available in additional markets in 2024, and it will be improving as well throughout 2024 with new functionality. So maybe we'll just walk through a quick flow, sort of like a typical day out here in the Bay Area. So you could say, hey Minnie, good afternoon.
Hi. I don't think it is afternoon quite yet. Oh well. How can I help?
How are my tires?
Ready to roll.
Okay, so you can check vehicle functions, obviously. You can say things like, hey Minnie, how's the weather in San Francisco? This is a common thing with the microclimates, right? It seems very close, but you might have to put a jacket on and suffer through the cold just going up there. You can say things like, hey Minnie, turn on go-kart mode.
Mode change to go-kart.
And we have a bunch of different experience modes there. And maybe we could show the differentiation between this and the other assistant vehicles. So, Alexa, how's the weather in Boston today?
Right now in Boston, Massachusetts, it's 30 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly cloudy skies. Today's forecast has intermittent clouds, with a high of 34 degrees and a low of 25 degrees.
Hey Minnie, I'm cold.
Temperature increased to 76 degrees.
So the main thing here is that also this is our new Android-based system, and we'll be integrating some of Amazon's newer technology throughout 2024 as well. Those will be available via OTAs, and the system will improve via OTAs throughout the year.
All right. Hey guys, I'm Shilaj here. This is Brian.
Hi. So we'll be presenting today Project Atmosphere, which is a intelligent dynamic scent journey. It is actually, while focused on scent, a complete multi-sensory experience that incorporates scent, color, ambient light, haptics. So we'll be going on a demo drive today to show you what that looks like.
It's hard to convey scent through video, but we will try.
Well, we have an intro movie for that.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so we have the theater screen in the back of the 7 Series, of course. If you guys haven't seen the theater screen, you should definitely check it out. It's amazing. 8K, 32-inch size. Absolutely recommend it. If you have the money to buy the 7 Series, might as well get a screen.
You sense a wisp of fragrance, it floats weightlessly and then vanishes. In a breath, you feel surprise, intrigue, and anticipation. A moment that lifts your mood and spirit. A moment that evokes a sense of time and presence. Atmos is an intelligent, dynamic scent journey, reimagining how we experience our sense of smell, exploring our human sensory system and phenomena associated with the psychology and physiology of scent, building upon the deep connection scent has to our emotions, memory, and perception. Atmos brings together new fragrance and purification technology to create moments inspired by the people, places, and things that surround us and connect us to our journeys. By analyzing data from both the vehicle and digital life, Atmos curates a dynamic scent experience in real time. It aggregates and learns from that data to make intelligent decisions on the mood, fragrance, rhythm, and intensity of the experience across all journeys. By utilizing dry air scent technology, Atmos can precisely control the level of scent molecules that are diffused. The system carries a small set of base scents that can be blended to create different fragrances. It can be either hidden or celebrated in the cabin, depending on the brand and interior design theme. We can imagine a premium service. Scent palettes can be thoughtfully curated through collaborations with artists, influencers, or like-minded brands. The Atmos experience can be amplified by an ambient interface that accompanies you through your journey. It displays a visual expression of the scent and a simple interface to connect with the experience. By manipulating color, motion, and timing, we can reinforce or alter what you smell and perceive. Atmos is an intelligent, dynamic scent journey. It's a new atmospheric experience that lifts your mood and engages your senses.
All right. Okay, so tell me more about the technology, Brian.
Yeah, so I think as the video kind of explains, we're using dry air scent technology. The scent beads that we have in cartridges in the unit, it's a very simple valve system where we open the scent that we want to distribute and a fan blows it up. The HVAC actually does most of the work in circulating it throughout the cabin, and so you're able to get scent throughout quite quickly.
So those are the scent canisters, basically,
so these
right
are
there,
the scent canisters. We have 12 different scents in here. They're controlled to kind of distribute scent based off of contextual data.
And when you say contextual data, like what do you mean exactly? Like how will the driving experience relate to what I'm sensing right now, basically?
So with the contextual data for this demo, we're just showing off things like GPS and like points of interest, but it could be a variety of different things. So with the basic use cases, we can, for example, when the driver comes to work in the morning, we can release a energizing scent to get them started for the day. When they get home, they can get a kind of welcoming arrival scent. Maybe if they're driving down the PCH, they can get a smell of the ocean with a watery scent. If they're going by a park, for example, they can get like a woody, fruity scent. But there's also more advanced use cases, like for example, if we're stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic and the car detects you're drowsy, for example, we could provide an energizing scent that gets them re-engaged and more energized for the driving task.
Got it. Can you connect the scent with the visuals and the audio as well? So there's a combination of all three. So let's say you're getting a different expressive screen, a combination with scent and also with the sound inside the car.
Yeah, actually, as we mentioned, this is really a multi sensory experience. So all these different modalities interact together quite strongly. So as you know, color and scent can be very highly correlated. So having the appropriate color can really reinforce how people perceive the scent. If you've ever gone to some of these museums where they have a lemon scent in a green bottle versus a lemon scent in a yellow bottle, those can be perceived quite differently. So in the atmosphere that we have displayed on the paddy, we've matched the appropriate color palette with the scent in a way that we think will strengthen how it's perceived. And
So,
just to
yeah.
quickly comment on the sphere itself, it shows kind of what the scent is doing with the system. So as it's getting distributed throughout the cabin, the sphere expands, and as the scent kind of goes away, the sphere goes back to its original size.
Got it. So I'm not a scent expert clearly, but I'm going to ask you this question. So let's say I'm driving an M car, something a little bit more dynamic. What kind of scent would you use, and in combination to what color, for example?
Well, I'm also not necessarily a scent expert, but we could use something like Energize, which would be like we have a scent here called Energize,
Okay.
which is more citrus based, and that's associated actually with color red. So we could potentially use something like that for M car, where we want to get you kind of focus on the road, and really appropriate for its setting and use case.
Got it. And for a production series, I mean, clearly you're not going to use if it comes to production series, you won't use canisters. You use something like cartridges that we've seen in the previous 7 series, for example, right?
So this really, is a pre-production project. It's kind of an evolution on what we've seen in the past, and really it's meant more to be an impulse to our colleagues in Munich to see, what could be possible in the future. But in this case, it's not really something that we're designing for series production. But as the video showed, it could be put in different ways. It could be something that is more integrated, or something that could be more of an accessory that communicates with the car intelligently to create this dynamic journey.
Understood. Anything else worth mentioning about the technology?
Yeah, I think one thing that's worth mentioning is that it's quite different from something like an air freshener, which kind of is really strong and lingers, in that actually you don't even perceive the scent of the air freshener after a while because of how your nose acclimates to it. We want to create a much more ephemeral experience where the scent comes in, you get a whiff of it, and then it just as quickly vanishes, and you can have something new come up later. It really wants to be kind of something that can at times surprise the user with just a nice, pleasant, ephemeral experience.
Understood. Yeah, that was my question actually on air fresheners and all of that. So I'm happy you tackled that on. Very, very cool. All right, guys. So this is the Atmosphere project within BMW. Once again, we're in California at the BMW Tech office, and we're inside the new BMW 7 Series. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you, guys.